Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of ZN Talks. Today, we're going to talk about why Mitch and I hire employees overseas. Now, to preface this video, the concept of hiring employees, in a different country, we actually refer to that as outsourcing. And the reason Mitch and I really do this, or really outsource, is because you have to understand the concept of working on your business and not in it. For instance, a lot of business owners in America, they own a restaurant. Let's say they own a hardware store. At the end of the day, they're business owners, but they're working inside the business. They're being the cashier, doing the accounting. They're the host at the restaurant. And at the end of the day, it's great if you love your business, but at some point in your life, you're gonna have to step away and you're gonna have to okay, I want to automate my business. I want to, go out of operations. And how Mitch and I really see it as you have to work on your business, not in your business. You have to kind of look at it as a controller, not necessarily as, manning the front lines and being a part of everyday actions. So the main reason that Mitch and I outsource is mainly because of opportunity cost. And some of you guys may not get this economic term, may not have heard it before, but pretty much what it refers to is what can I be doing with my time instead of what I'm doing right now. So let's take an example. Let's say you own a restaurant, you're the hostess in San Francisco, and the average wage of paying a hostess is $20 an hour. Well, you could pay the hostess $20 an hour, but you want to do the job yourself. Now, what Mitch and I would say is, how much is your time worth? Friends, if you value your time at $40 an hour, you should not be doing the hostess job unless there's some ulterior motive, such as you just like interacting with customers. So you really have to take into account, how much is my time worth and what could I be doing instead? And that's the reason why Mitch and I, have employees overseas. Because if we were doing operations all day, quite frankly, it would be a waste of our time. We have much more creative work and we have much more things to do every day. And, if we could outsource a job for much less than what we value our time, we're going to do every single time. And, that's just one of the ways that you want to work on your business and not in your business.
So now that you know that we hire all of our employees overseas, let's go ahead and really get into depth with why we do that. And the first part being cost. Now, if you don't like the word cheap, I don't know what's wrong with you, because I'd rather pay less than more for something if it's the same exact service. Because let's take person A and person B. Person A costs $15 an hour, person B costs $5 an hour, and they do the same exact work for you, same quality within the same period of time. Literally everything is the same. I would like to meet someone that would pay the same amount or that would pay more for the same exact service. It just doesn't make sense. You're going to increase your business costs, and overall it's just not logical financially. So again, if you're hiring someone overseas, it is approximately 3 times cheaper. Now, for example, here in California, the minimum wage is $15 per hour. When we first started outsourcing a team, we would pay them anywhere from $2 to $5 per hour. Now, this is something, for example, building an Amazon store, you don't need to be a rocket scientist that, wants to work in building rockets or cars. No, you don't need to have that sort of skill, because you can literally teach a middle schooler, for example, to do product research on Amazon. It's not exactly hard, but it's just a tedious task to do. And frankly, Emo and I just find our time spent better elsewhere. So we go ahead and hire someone to manage different parts of the store for $2 to $5 an hour, instead of having to find someone here for $15 an hour for, again, doing the same exact service. And now, because you are paying a much cheaper price and you're cutting down your business costs, this allows you to actually split test even more. Because when you hire one employee, or when, say, for example, you interview your first employee, it wouldn't be really smart to hire this person on the first try. But what you could actually do, because costs are way cheaper, you can hire multiple employees at once and split test which one is better. And over time, you're able to really see which employees are the best, which one of them are doing the best job, which one of them actually care about your business and want to make you money along with themselves. And then the others that are just in it for the quick buck, well, you can go ahead and can them, because that would be a waste of money for you. Now, while Emiliano and I started off paying our employees hourly, we went ahead and transitioned into giving them profit share. So pretty much every single month, instead of having to pay them hourly, we'll just give them a percentage of the profits from our stores. And while short term, that may cost you more money, long term, what you'll notice is if you give an employee profit share, they're going to get much more excited, because not only do they make more money, but that allows them to want to work harder in building your store, because the store does well purely based off the work that they put in. And what that leads to is them getting paid more based off the quality of the work that they put in. So overall, that's kind of what we transitioned into for our stores.
Now, the reason why Mitch and I hire employees overseas is because of the culture abroad. Now, what do you really mean by this? Well, in the United States, often there's a hyper-competitive nature to the corporate environment. For instance, you have multiple people in a company doing very similar jobs, and they're constantly trying to outdo and one-up each other and outcompete each other. Now, well, this is great a lot of the times. For instance, it can lead to everyone doing better work. A lot of the times what ends up happening is this can actually lead to basically the falling apart of a company's culture, and it can really just lead to a company falling apart. And this happens mainly when two people are doing the same exact job and they're trying to outdo one another, and it just eventually doesn't become a friendly competition. It becomes more of a hostile competition. You see this person as, oh, I got to outdo them. I got to outdo them. I got to outdo them. And, it kind of puts your own personal satisfaction above the health of the company sometimes. Now, that's one of the reasons why we prefer to keep our operations abroad, is because people out there are just much more willing to work together and, are just much more grateful. And, the reason why our employees abroad are so grateful and so passionate is because, $100, $200, $300, $100 here in America is worth so much more abroad. That can, the average income in a lot of nations right now is $600 to $900 in a lot of nations that are developing. And, that $600 to $900 can't really buy a lot in San Francisco or California or the United States. Abroad, that makes all the difference. The people that we pay are in the top 5-10% of their income bracket. And, they just feel like they have much more purpose when they work because they're seeing a lot more income compared to what the average person in their company makes. And, they just like being part of the culture and having a profit share.
So how can you actually go out there and start building your own team and outsourcing your work? And this doesn't fully apply to someone that's just in the e-commerce field. You could be starting a marketing agency. So this really works with anything online that anyone with the laptop can do the work. So for example, one of the first things that you'll want to do is use one of these 3 websites, which is what we strongly prefer. So either Fiverr, Upwork, or onlinejobs.ph. These are websites where you can go ahead and find employees to do stuff for you. These 3 websites are what Emiliano and I prefer the most, because not only could you reach out to people posting certain things that, for example, they're looking for a job, but you could also post your own job listing and people could reach out to you. So when you actually set up your own account with one of these platforms, you will need to have an interview process in place, because most of the people, they will just hire one of the first people they get offered for an interview. But in reality, you want to hire as many people as possible. And whenever you actually kind of like someone and think they can get the job done, get them in a system that allows them to start working for you. Because when people are actually working for you, that's when you're really actually able to predict whether they're the right employee for your company, whether they get the job done, and whether they will actually stay with you long term. Because you don't want to just work with someone for a few months. You want to have them as long as possible, because the longer you have them, over time, you develop a certain relationship with them, a business professional relationship with them. They will feel more closer to you, which will make the quality of their work way, way higher. And lastly, just be logical, because at the end of the day, you're doing this to grow your business. You want to grow your business to be able to support yourself, help other people, support your family, whoever is in your circle, or, whatever your end goal really is. It varies from person to person. And at the same time, you also want to value your employees, because those employees, they are part of your business. These are human beings. You want to help them. You want to develop trust and a relationship with them. But if something comes up in which, okay, you need to get rid of them to grow your business, because scenarios like that happen often, then you need to be able to do that in a nice way that not just helps you, but also helps the employee. So yeah, guys, we hope you enjoyed this video. We hope you got value out of it. If you did, smash the like button, subscribe, leave a comment about what you thought. And again, our Instagrams are down in the description below. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us. And yeah, we'll see you guys in the next episode.
Adios.